Hello, Facebook world. This is your YouTube world. This is your goddess guru, Tyra Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. Today is March 7th. Whoop, whoop. Happy birthday to all of the Pisces. I feel bad. I forgot to mention happy Aquarius and Pisces rising. It's not often that somebody gets that mission in life. So we can't forget your season, Pisces rising. This is your time. So I wanted to make sure I got on. Have you ever heard of the Venus return? It's something that I've learned about since I've started studying astrology. And y'all, I've been on my astrology for a year. I've been astrology for a year. Because I remember last year I had gotten deep enough into astrology that I was able to honor my Venus return. And so if we look at our natal chart, when we look at our natal chart, it's a snapshot of where the planets were at the moment that we were born. And so when we have the transiting planet come back and meet up where it was in our birth chart, then that's called a return. And so one that I think is very important is a Venus return, especially for people who perhaps have issues with manifesting, which for me, I see this as people, not all people of African descent, but I do feel that because of this programming that we've experienced in the Afro consciousness, we are some people with a lot of money. Hello, Black Panther. we have lots of power in our money, but I do feel that a lot of us do struggle with an abundance consciousness. If it's not with money, it would be with health or love, just in general, a lack consciousness. And so working with the energy of Venus, in my opinion, is exceedingly important. And of course, Venus is the energy of Oshun. And so you have to know your time of birth to know when your Venus return will happen. I'm also learning about progress charts. So for people who are more advanced than me, maybe you can chime in and talk about the progressed chart and looking at that Venus return. But for me right now, I'm working with my natal chart because I feel like it's helping me to understand myself better. And so when we have our Venus return, something that we want to do is to look at what is coming up during that time. It is going to let us know about relationships and money, creativity. These are all the Oshun things that we experience in our lives. Creativity, maybe even sexuality. What is going to be happening over the next year? Now, there may be some things that we cannot control, but we should be intentional with the Venus return. And for me, the Venus return is making sure that the things that I desire, the things that I want to experience more of, and then the changes in my consciousness that I desire, especially regarding all things Venus and Oshun, those are the things that I will be bringing to light. And so for me, it's not just about a day, it's about a time. And when I know the Venus return is coming, so for me this year, with me being a little bit more aware, I'm stretching it out over several days. So my astral Venus return will happen tomorrow because I know exactly where my Venus is in my chart. And I know where Venus will be tomorrow, which is where my Venus is in my chart. But I have been stretching this out over like the last few days. So let's see here. I know for a fact on Monday, I got a massage. I've been looking at what is my money flow looking like. I've been watching that. Yesterday, making sure I dance because I love to dance and focused on specific dance. Like thinking about the classes that I teach that involve dance and fitness too, actually. And just really feeling like I'm making a connection with my inner Venus, understanding my inner Venus. My Venus is in Aries. Venus is in Aries now, y'all. And so my Venus wears the clothes of a warrior. And just really owning that and accepting that this is how my Venus manifests in me, and maximizing it. You know, I was talking to somebody whose Venus is in a sign that is a little bit not like the best placement for Venus, because it's sort of like not one with the energy of Venus, but that's that person's Venus. And we got to maximize our Venus wherever it is. Whatever clothes our Venus is wearing, we need to just be one with it, you know? But, you know, I just wanted to make sure I got on and did a video because, you know, Oshun, this Venus energy, Venus is the great benefic. Het Haru is a benefic. They bring good things into our lives. And I want to be engaging you all more. I want to be producing more content. I want to be sharing the wisdom more than sharing content. I want to share wisdom, because one day I'm going to be up out of this piece. And I don't want people to have to search long and hard like I have had to search long and hard. And the people who came before me, they had to search longer and harder than my generation is having to search, you know? And so I want to make sure I leave my footprint as long as YouTube is up or wherever else I can get these videos. I want to be making sure I share this because it's my destiny, it's my calling. And so that's one of the reasons I'm on today. I'm in the midst of my Venus return. Oh, the other thing is during Venus return, you want to work on beautifying yourself and experiencing luxuries. That's something I actually struggle with. You know, I think it's so many people out here who don't have. I don't like doing massages because I admit it in Amethyst Renee, I did get my massage. I meant to tell you that. I loved the massage. I will be going back for more massages. But sometimes I just feel like when I indulge too much, I see so much indulgence and folks indulging, but they're not doing anything to help people. It makes me not really feel like I want to do those kinds of things, but we have to take care of ourselves. We have to nurture ourselves. We do have to indulge ourselves because we deserve that. It's a part of how we keep our abundance consciousness high. I don't have to do it all the time, but we should beautify ourselves. So that's something else. Engage in the arts, all that kind of good stuff. So find out when your Venus return is happening. I actually started figuring out all of this by going to astrolotta.com. She has a birth chart calculator. You put your information in, and down at the bottom, she lists transits that will be coming up for you. And you don't have to talk to anybody. All you have to do is put your information in that birth chart calculator, and it'll say, well, you're going to have this planet transiting this, or Venus return, Saturn return, Jupiter return, all of that, okay? So the other thing I wanted to talk about is something that is really standing out to me is how many people are asking about initiating into E5. They want to know who rules their head. So many questions about E5. I admit, I don't know what a lot of people know in E5, and it is because of who I initiated through. It's the focus of your godparents is going to lead, guide, and direct what your focus is. Their focus has not been, well, let me get you all, you know, initiated, and then I need to show you right away how to start initiating other people into E5. And so, but what I do know is that initiation is a start to opening to the truth of who and what you are. And I think so many people are hearing the call of E5 because to a certain degree, E5 has been under attack for a very long time. Ever since Africans were brought from the continent over here to, you know, this part of the world, E5 has been under attack. And sometimes you talk to people from Nigeria and they will look at you like you're crazy, like we don't have anything to do with that. So E5 is not going to die. It's not going to go away. And E5 is going to call to it whoever is going to answer the call. I do feel that it is calling many of us because we have lost um, a knowledge of our ancestral lineage. It's multi-layered and multi-leveled. But the thing that people need to understand is that it doesn't matter if you initiate into E5. There's no magic in E5 other than you doing the work to open yourself up to the power. E5 I see as a key initiation into whatever tradition, be it E5, whatever. It's a key that unlocks the door to yourself. It's a path to self-realization and self-mastery. But y'all keep asking me. Folks keep wanting to know. Everyone's flirting around with E5. Not everyone, but a lot of people, they're flirting around with E5. They're hearing the call and they want to know, what do we do? Who do we go to? How do we make this initiation happen? And so I'm looking around like, I can't help everybody yet like that. I'm working on it. I have made the decision. At the very least, for me, I want to help people get their leques. Because I think that's a great start. But let me tell you, first and foremost, you don't need anything to work with your ancestors. You don't need anything to work with your Ori, your higher self. You just have to do the rituals. There's so many people, let me not say so many people, but let me tell you, the most simple wisdom that you can follow is simple rituals that put you in touch with your Ori and help you to tap in and tune into your inner guidance, which will then lead you to who can help you initiate into E5. I plan on bringing an Iyanifa. If you don't know what an Iyanifa is, she is initiated into E5. And, you know, people talk about the Babalaos. She's the female form of the Babalao, Iyanifa. I have a friend, a sister friend, who is an Iyanifa. And I just have been hearing she is the one to bring on. I want to get in touch with Baba Omitosin, and I might even contact Baba Shango Dare. Yes. And have them talk to you all about what you need to be thinking about, because this is not going to be your salvation. It will be your salvation in the sense that if you work it, okay? It's not about knowing who rules your head. Your Ori rules your head, okay? Now, the wisdom matrix through which the Ori is saying, the medicine through which the Ori is saying, this is the medicine you primarily need to work with. Yes, that is important. So, for instance, I was initiated into Yemonja. Her medicine is the primary medicine that I take. As a priestess of Yemonya, her medicine is the primary medicine that I better be making sure I'm bringing to the world, because I cannot disrespect my Orisha. Okay? But it's not the medicine. I'm in the midst of my Venus return, and I am talking to Oshun day in and day out. Okay? The medicine of the Orisha is for everybody. All right? The salvation of Ifa is that you found it and you worked it, and you are doing the work day in and day out to be in alignment with your destiny and to get free. So that's something that I want to make sure I bring, and to begin to put myself in a position where I can make sure if you decide I'm the one that you want to work with, I can do that. Though I see it as a path to self-realization. That's just how I see it. And, you know, I was talking to someone else, and and this person was saying, well, I really want an Afro tradition, even though maybe I should. I'm thinking that maybe Buddhism, maybe. And I said, it's not all or none for me. Many paths, one truth. Okay? It's not all or none, excuse me. It's not all or none. It's what is your destiny? And I've been hearing from a lot of the millennials here lately. And the millennials are showing me that they don't have a box in which they fit. That's something that's important for us. We need to step outside our box Just because religion has presented itself to us in one way doesn't mean that that's the way that it is. And so I know so many people in the Ifa tradition, but they don't limit themselves, because the spiritual technology is tools that we want to use to help open up the path to self-realization and self-mastery. Do we really think God is encased, enfolded, embodied in a religion? Once we begin to move into all as one, once our consciousness leaves this old body and goes back into great divine consciousness. Yeah, we have that ancestral way of being on the other side, but the ultimate for all of us is no thingness. There is no shape, no form, no definition to the great divine consciousness. It is just beingness. There is no differentiation on any level, i.e., there is no religion. So really what we're trying to do is get free, to be so open. I was talking to someone else and I said, look, Enoch walked with God. Enoch is from the Bible. Enoch ascended. You hear some people, maybe 3, I think, in the Bible who ascended. They did not die. They ascended. And one of the things that Enoch did different from everybody else, moment by moment by moment, Enoch walked with God. What thoughts are going through your mind? What are you holding on to? The more you can transcend all of that, and the only reality that you have is the great divine consciousness, there will be no E5. When we get to E5, when we get to that point where I am so at one with the energy of E5, we will see nothing. We will be nothing. We will feel nothing. This is what E5 is about. And E5 is about here. Are you going to be here helping people, doing something good? Can you do that today? You want to connect with the Orisha. Go out and do what the Orisha do. Does nature hold back from people? Nature freely gives. Nature is like, I'm here for you. Come be one with me. Be careful as you do some of it, standing on the ledges of mountains. But the mountain is there that says, come up high, come up on high. If you need to raise your consciousness, if you need to clear your head, come up on high. The mountain ain't discriminating against you. The mountain is freely there for us to be one with. Are you doing that? That's Ifa. Take some deep breaths. Use your words, your communication. That is in the ancient Hindu tradition. Saraswati. I was reading a book, and it said that in certain, the way they viewed this in the ancient times, the ability to speak was considered a sacred divine mystery. Use your sacred divine mystery of speech, which is Orisha, to speak power and truth into somebody's life. Omi Tosin, Baba Omi Tosin says all the time, it's simple. It's not hard. Okay? We have to dig deep within ourselves. These Orisha, these ancestors, this wisdom of the E5, the Odu, is to help us dig deep within ourselves to uncover the truth. If you want to initiate into E5, are you ready to take that pickaxe, that shovel, to use a machete and cut down deep into yourself to find the truth of who and what you are? That is what I see E5 is about. That's what I hope you all are searching for. But I'm going to let and brothers speak and talk to you all, because I think that you all really need to hear from them so that you can make sure you get the best start in E5. All right. Lastly, what I want to talk to you all about is what is going on this week. So we have some big changes astrologically going on, and I sense them. Um, Yesterday, Mercury and Venus moved into Aries. Now, for those of y'all who are watching this and you are in the Nashville area, we all know what happened with a Venus and Mars situation. A female mayor just had to turn herself in because she did some stuff on the clock, and her downfall has happened. She's had to resign. And I'm just noticing like things are getting heated up. It's Aries time. It's fire season time. I was listening to the Leo King today, and he was talking about how we've been at a time where we've had a lot of water, we've had a lot of earth. We haven't had any fire going on for the most part. You know, the signs moved out of the fire back in like December or something like that. So maybe we've been thinking about a lot of things that we want to achieve. And we have good plans, but now we need that fire to move us into action. And so I just encourage everybody to use your fire to move yourself into action in doing the things that you say you want to do. We don't want to use our fire to cut people, to argue. Why waste our fire? That's something that I'm having to really work with myself on. I'm not going to be wasting my fire arguing with people over nothing. I'm going to use my fire to achieve that which I want in my life and to be of service to other people in my community. Okay? So we want to really use our fire to be doing things that are moving us forward. So again, let's review what we're working on. What did we say we want to achieve this year? And move in that direction. The other thing is Jupiter is going retrograde either Thursday or Friday. I can't remember the exact date. And so with Jupiter moving retrograde in Scorpio, that means that we're going to be going back over some of the lessons that Jupiter has been bringing up for us within Scorpio. So for instance, I am a Scorpio rising in my natal chart, and it's really, I'm like on a whole new spiritual awakening. I'm having like just this opening of myself, feeling more and more comfortable about who and what I am, really accepting more of my, this is what my spiritual destiny is. Why am I fighting this thing? But also ideas can be coming up that we will review. We will go back over. That's what the retrogrades are. It's a blessing to have the retrograde, because as the planet moves forward, it shows us ideas. We see things. We have inclinations. When we retrograde, we can go back over and begin to maybe give more shape, form to this idea. I think it'll be retrograde for about 6 months. And then it'll start moving forward again, and we'll even begin to see more shape, more form to those things that are regarding Scorpio in our birth chart. If you don't know what time you were born, there are some astrologers out there who can help you. There's one woman in particular that I would recommend. She's in another country, but she's like a brilliant astrologer. Her name is Marina, Marina, Mars Stars Astrology. I don't know why I thought I felt my car shake. Sheesh. Anyway, you can, thank you, Momo. We can, you can use your sun sign. If you know that the first house is the sun sign, then you just start counting. So for instance, if your sun sign is Aries, Aries is going to be in your first house, and you just keep counting in order. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, till you get to Scorpio. Okay. So you just make your sun sign your first house, and you just keep counting around the zodiac until you get to Scorpio, and it'll give you some idea of what you're working on. My sun sign really works for me using that, even though I do know my ascendant and my moon. You can even use your moon sign, especially if you're a woman. But anyway, Scorpio is a big deal right now. We'll be working on all things Scorpio, getting lots of abundance, healing in the area of Scorpio. And then the other thing I want to mention to you all, because I noticed the Mercury is going retrograde close to the end of this month. So Mercury has to do with our mind. If we just really bottom line it, mind, communication, okay? And so what is it in our minds perhaps that we need to go back and review, either to get rid of that, or perhaps there's some new direction we want to take our mind in, especially since Mercury is in Aries. And, this is like the start of the new year, really. The spiritual new year we could also see as Leo. I just want to put that out there. But, when it comes to season, Aries is the start. And so, maybe we need to commit to getting a fresh new start in our mind. What can we do to cleanse and purify our mind, and then reset it? And plans on some things. Is there some stuff we need to review, and maybe look at the details and just really get clear about that? Of course, watch out for technology. I'm really working on myself. I still am paranoid about getting in car accidents, because I got in a car accident, Mercury retrograde, around this time last year. And so I have to really work on myself to stop being so paranoid of being in car accidents. But we do want to sort of slow things down a little bit during Mercury retrograde. Mercury is on the go, typically. But at some point, we've got to just slow things down. We can't just let ourselves just constantly be on the go. And that was something else that the Leo King mentioned. Planets, and even Lotta mentioned it, planets have been moving forward. All the planets have been moving forward for a long time, and that's not normal. So with Jupiter moving retrograde, and then Mercury moving retrograde, we're going to have to start getting ourselves adjusted to slowing it down a little bit. So that's something else to think about. But really know that we have some shifts going on right now. And you need to take note of the things that are coming up. How aware are you living in your life of what's going on and what's coming up? Just like I told y'all last week, there's some stuff I was ignoring about some friendships, some relationships. And thankfully, I pay attention to these moons. Finally, that Virgo moon said, baby, you're about to pay attention to what we've been mentioning this for a few months, and you're not listening. Woo! So, thankfully, I was able to hear it and pay attention, So this is a time where we really want to take that time to get quiet, sit, listen, and pay attention to what's coming up. We don't want to be numb in our lives. Okay? So I just want to put that out there as we move forward. The new moon is next week, is it? Yeah, it's next week. It's next week sometime. So I will, I do everything I can to get on for these moons. So a new moon is coming up. We're in of the moon, and it's important for us to look at what do we need to let go of right now. What's hindering us from achieving our goals and objectives? And as we begin to look at what we need to let go of, what are we moving towards? And we know, we can sense. But the last thing I'll say is we need to make sure that what we want is what really should be the focus of our lives. Some of us want love, but that's not your focus right now. Your focus is your education or career. Your focus is your family or your home. And love will come up in a year or two, So we just want to make sure we're paying attention to what really is it that we should be working on. What is life calling? You know, those things, they really present themselves. I have a friend. I looked at this friend's chart and it said family is going to be huge for you. And I be doggone. It's really coming up. And it's like a banging on the door. Now, this friend could just ignore it. Or this person could do something about it, you know? So that's what I'm talking about. Your life is showing you what you need to be focused on. Let me see what we got here, Momo. Where are my comments? I don't know how to pull these up. I always struggle. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Momo, yes, let go of stinking thinking. Use your vision to direct your consciousness, to direct your conscious mind, then direct your subconscious mind, then direct your heart. The heart and breath are one. Not the mind and heart are one. The heart and breath are one. And then he put YouTube channel Locos TV. That is really good. Heart and breath are one. I am so vibing that. I really am. Okay, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in and indulging me. I have enjoyed being here with you all this day. Please like the video, share the video, and if I can divine for you, if I can go to the oracle on your behalf, please let me know. The name of my website is GoddessBodyMindSpirit.com. That's MIND. Goddess Body Mind Spirit, honey. That's us.com, and go to the spiritual reading page. I look forward to seeing you all again. I wish you an awesome and amazing day. Thank you all so much. Peace.